Hello there. I decided to make another clip on YouTube about a Danish writer. He's very famous all over the world. It's about Hans Christian Andersen. You know him. He was born on April 2nd, 1805 in the Danish town of Odense on the island of Funen. He had a deep knowledge of child psychology. He became famous for his fairy tales and stories which have a special charm. His fairy tales have delighted the childhood of generations and generations. His fairy tales were printed in Romania for the first time in 1886 at Sibiu. He had a passion for travel. Between 1840 and 1857, he traveled almost all of Europe and even some countries in Africa and Asia. Among the countries he visited was Romania. In the volume, it's a Danish name, and Dictors Bazaar. I don't know if my pronunciation is correct. I need to admit that Danish and English aren't my mother tongues. I'm a Romanian. So he published in this volume in 1842 in Copenhagen. He devoted many pages to his journey on the Danube River. When he describes the Romanian lands, he always talks about the Romanian peasant. He said about the Danube that it is a way to the east, which will carry on its powerful waves poets who will know how to sing the treasures of poetry contained in every bush, in every stone in these lands. After a journey that began in 1840, when he left his native country, after visiting Germany, Italy, Malta, Greece, and visiting Turkey, he decided to return to Denmark on the Danube in May 1841. The disturbance in Romania led him to take the shortest route, through Constanța, crossing Dobrogea to Cernavodă, and from here up to the free road. The Austrian ship on which he was traveling followed the Bulgarian shore. He said about Constanța, Constanța is a very big and a very famous town here in Romania, that it gives the impression that it has been robbed for several weeks. The city had been devastated in the war between the Russian Empire and the Turkish Empire between the years 1806 and 1812. Andersen also says that the houses were half demolished. He saw only one ruined mosque, a cafe with a porch. Outside the city, he discovers some unfenced fields of wheat, in which large oxen, driven by Romanian peasants in heavy sheepskins with black felt hats, head towards Cernavodă, another town from Romania. On the way, near Carasu, note the legend according to which this lake was nothing more than the trace of the canal through which Traian, the leader of Roman Empire, connected the great Danube. He was surprised when he saw the Romanian shepherds huddled in their sheepskin, leaning on a stick, even though it was burning outside. It was very hot in those times. The crossing of the Danube seemed to the writer to have a Danish character. He finds the town of Cernavodă pleasant, being impressed by the crowd of children. He gets excited at the beauties he sees on the banks of the Danube. He remains in quarantine for 10 days in Orshova. Here he was delighted by two Romanian musicians. He was impressed by the nai musical instrument. About the Romanian peasants, seen here in their wooden chariots, he says that they raced like the ancient Romans on the hippodromes. Among other things, he attended the Romanian dance of the inhabitants at the so-called Horă. He made the journey to Mehadia, where he was delighted by the beauty of the day and the places. Also, in the land of Orshova, he marveled at the picturesque, sorry for the word, it's a very hard pronunciation, customs of the peasants. Continuing the journey on the Danube, he admired the Roman vestiges and the magnificent bas-reliefs of Traian, the leader of Rome. He said about the Cazanelor area that it surpasses the Rhine in beauty. In the forest of Drenkova, he found a peasant child to whom he gave a business card with an invitation to visit him in Denmark when he grows up. Because he was received with love and respect in every place, Andersen was so impressed by the hospitality and goodwill of the Romanian people. The end.